And for a reading assignment, I was actually the duty assignment. The fact I actually did upload that video. I'm not sure if they put to that. Most likely will find out for the original purpose. We're going to be reading Windows 11's End User License Agreement. Now, for all versions of Windows except Education, the Education SKU for some reason, if you click Microsoft's this little one here, and I'll have this since you're here, you get this little box that says, it's Microsoft Software License Terms. And we're gonna read this for some time. I'll actually do a time of 3 minutes. Where is my 30-minute timer? Where is it? Come on, I've done that already. I just want to read. I'm gonna do 20 minutes. Let's be going. Let's update Microsoft Software License. Let's update Future Trade on Microsoft Software License Terms. No operating system. If you live in or if your principal base of business is in the United States, please read the binding Aberration clause in class action waiver in section 11. It affects how speeds are resolved. Thank you for choosing Microsoft. Depending on how you obtain the Windows software, this is a license agreement between you and the device manufacturer software installer sharing software with your device. Two, you and Microsoft Corporation, or based on where you live, or if a business or a principal place of business located, one of its affiliates. If you acquired the software from a retailer, Microsoft's device manufacturer provides for Microsoft or one of its affiliates, and Microsoft's retailer if you acquire software from Microsoft. If you're a volume license customer, use of the software is subject to a volume license agreement rather than this agreement. Good to know. This agreement describes your rights, obligations, and the conditions upon which you may use the Windows software. You should review the entire agreement. Oh, damn. Click a supplemental license terms that accompany software and a link terms because all of the terms are important, and to create this agreement that applies to you can view link terms basically ak.ms/link into a browser window. By accepting this agreement or using the software, you agree to all of these terms and consent of the transmission of certain information during activation and during your use of the software as per the process statements found in section 3. You accept the policy terms, you may not use software with features. You may contact the device manufacturer installer or your retailer if you purchase software directly to determine its return policy and return software or device for refund or credit on that policy. You must apply with that policy, which might require you to return software with the entire device on which the software is installed for a refund or credit, if any. 1. Overview. Applicability. This agreement applies to the Windows software that's pre-installed on your device or required from a retailer installed, but is installed by you. The domain on which you receive the software is any fonts, icons, images, sounds, files include the software, and also any Microsoft updates, upgrades, supplements, or services for software, unless other terms come with them. It also applies to Windows apps developed by Microsoft that provide some functionality such as mail, contacts, music, and photos that are included with and are a part of Windows. If this agreement contains terms regarding a feature service not available on your device, those terms do not apply. Additional terms. Additional Microsoft third-party terms may apply to your use for features, services, and apps depending on your device's capabilities. How is this configured and how you use it? Please read them. 1. Some Windows apps provide an access point to or rely on online services, and the use of those services is sometimes governed by separate terms and privacy policies, such as Microsoft Service Agreement at https://ak.ms/msa. You can view these terms and policies by looking at the service terms of use or the app settings as applicable. The services may not be available in all regions. 2. Microsoft or the device manufacturer installer may include additional apps which will be subject to separate license terms and privacy policies. 3. The software may include third-party programs that are licensed to you, and this agreement are in their own terms. License terms, notices, and acknowledgments, if any, for the third-party programs may be via https://ak.ms/third-party notices. 4. To the extent included, Windows, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote are licensed to you for personal non-commercial use unless commercial use rights unless you have commercial use rights under a separate agreement. 2. Installation use rights. A. License. The software is licensed, not sold. Under this agreement, granting you the right to install and run one instance of the software device, the licensed device, for use by one person at a time, so long as you comply with terms and restrictions contained in this agreement. Updating or upgrading from non-genuine software to software from Microsoft operates for not make the original version or the update/upgrade version genuine. In that situation, you do not have a license to use software. B. Device. In this agreement, the device means a local hardware system where physical or virtual with an internal storage device capable of running the software. A hardware partition or blade is considered to be a device. For purposes of this agreement, device does not include any hardware system, whether physical or virtual, on which the software is installed or accessed solely for the remote use over a network. C. Restrictions. The device manufacturer, installer, and Microsoft reserve all rights, such as rights under intellectual property laws, not expressly granted in this agreement, and no other rights are licensed. And no rights are licensed to you. So the avoidance of that, this license does not give any right to it, and you may not permit any entity to do so. 1. Use virtual features of the software separately. 2. Publish, copy, or then the permitted backup copy, rent, lease, or lend the software. 3. Transfer software except as permitted in this agreement. 4. Work around any technical restrictions and limitations of the software. 5. Use the software as server software or to operate the device and server except as permitted under Section 2(d)(3) below. Use the software to offer commercial hosting services. Make the software available for simultaneous use by more than one user over a network, except in Section 2(d)(4) below. Install the software on a remote server for remote access or use over a network, or install the software on a device for use only by remote users. 6. Trying to carry Roman numerals. First, I should decompile and install software terms to set them only by the extent that programs such as A. Permitted by applicable law, B. Permitted by licensors given the use of open source codes that may be closed software, or C. Required to debug changes to any libraries under the GNU Lesser General Public License, which that are included with and linked to by the software. And 7. When using internet-based features, you may not use those features anyway that can interfere with anyone else's use of them, or try to gain access to it, or use any service, data, account, or network in an unauthorized manner. D. Multiple use scenarios. 1. Multiple versions. If when acquiring software you require multiple versions, such as 32-bit and 64-bit versions, you may install and activate only one of those versions at a time. 2. Multiple or pooled connections. Hardware software used to multiplex or pool connections or reduce the number of devices or users that access or use the software does not reduce the number of licenses you need. You may only use such hardware software if you have a license for each instance of the software you're running. 3. Device connections. You may allow up to 20 other devices to access the software it's on the licensed device solely to use the following software features for personal or internal purposes. File services, print services, internet information services, internet connection sharing, and telephony services on the licensed device. You may allow any number of devices to access the software on the licensed device to synchronize data between devices. This subsection does not mean, however, that you have the right to install the software or use the primary function of software other than the features listed in the subsection on any of these other devices. 4. Use the virtualized environment. This license allows you to install only one instance of the software for use on one device, where that device is physical or virtual. If you want to use software on more than one device, you must have a separate license for each instance. 5. Remote access. No more than once every 9 days, you may designate a single user physically use the licensed user. The licensed user may access the licensed device from another device using remote access on a period of up to 365 days from the licensed use. Other users at different times may access the licensed device from another device using access to knowledge displaying on devices separately licensed to run on the same hard edition of this software. 6. Remote assistance. You may use remote assistance technologies to share an active session for obtaining different licenses for the software. Remote assistance allows one user to connect directly to our computer, usually for prompts. E. Backup copy. You may make a single copy of the software for backup purposes and may also use the backup copy of the transfer software if it was acquired as standalone software, as described in Section 4 below. 3. Privacy. Consent to use the data. Your privacy is important to us. Some of the software features send or receive information when using those features. Many of the features can be switched off in the user interface, or you can choose not to use them. By accepting this agreement and using the software, you agree that Microsoft can collect, use, and disclose the information described in the Microsoft privacy statement at https://aka.ms/privacy, and as may be described in the user interface associated software features. 4. Transfer. The provisions of the section do not apply if you acquire software in Germany or in any other countries listed on this site, https://aka.ms/transfer. In which case, any transfer of software to a third party and the right to use it must apply to applicable law. A. Software installed on the device. If you acquire software pre-installed on the device, and also if you have upgraded from software pre-installed on this device, you may transfer the license to use the software directly to the network only with the license device. I have a driver update. The transfer must include software and, if provided with the device, an authentic Windows label including the product key. Before any permitted transfer, the other party must agree that this agreement applies to the transfer and use of the software. B. Standalone software. If you acquired the software as standalone software, and also if you've upgraded from software you acquired as standalone software, you may transfer the software from another device that belongs to you. You must transfer software to a device owned by someone else if 1. You are the first licensed user of software, and 2. The user agrees to the terms of this agreement. You may use the backup copy we allow you to make, or the media of that the software came on transfers the software. Every time you transfer the software to a new device, you must remove the software from the prior device. You may not transfer the software to share license between devices. Authorized software and activation. You are authorized to use software if you are properly licensed and the software has been properly activated with a genuine product key or by other authorized method. When you connect to your internet while using the software will automatically contact Microsoft or its affiliate to conduct activations associated with certain device. You may also activate the software manually by internet or telephone. In our case, transmission of certain information will occur, and internet telephone SMS surcharge may apply. Deactivation or reactivation that may be triggered by changes to your device costs. The software may determine that the installed instance of the software is counterfeit, improperly licensed, or includes authorized changes. If that fails, software will attempt to repair itself by replacing any terrorized software with genuine Microsoft software. You also receive warrants to obtain a proper license for the software. Since activation is not confirmed that the software is genuine for a license, you may not bypass circuit activation to determine if your software is genuine and where you are pre-licensed. See https://aka.ms/genuine. Certain updates, support, and other services may be offered only to users of genuine Microsoft software. 6. Updates. Software periodically checks for system and app updates and downloads and installs them for you. You may obtain updates only from Microsoft or authorized sources, and Microsoft may need to update your system to provide you with those updates. By accepting the agreement or use software, you agree to receive these types of automatic updates without any additional notes. 7. Hard specifications, downgrade rights. A. Hard specifications. Certain personal modes are only compatible with hardware that meets specified system requirements is indicated by Microsoft from time to time available at https://aka.ms/minhw. Downgrade rights. If you acquire a device from a manufacturer installer with a professional version of Windows pre-installed and it's prepared to run in full feature mode, you may downgrade to equivalent version on a prior version of Windows Professional, but only for so long as Microsoft provides support for that earlier version, as set forth at https://aka.ms/Windows Lifecycle, and supports that earlier version on your hardware as set forth at http://aka.ms/minhw. This agreement applies to your use of the earlier versions. If the earlier version includes different components, any terms for those components in the agreement that comes with an earlier version apply to your use of such components. Neither the device manufacturer or installer nor Microsoft is obligated to supply other versions for you. You must obtain the earlier version separately, from which you may be charged a fee anytime you replace an early version with the version you originally acquired. 8. Export restrictions. You must comply with all domestic and international export laws and regulations that apply to the software, which includes restrictions on destinations, end users, and end users. For information on export restrictions, visit https://aka.ms/exporting. 9. Warranty, disclaimer, remedy, damages, and procedures. Limited warranty. Depending on how you obtain the software, Microsoft or the device manufacturer installer warns that properly licensed software will perform substantially as described in any Microsoft materials that accompany the software. This limited warranty is not cover problems that you cause that arise when you fail to follow instructions or that are caused by events beyond reasonable control of Microsoft or the device manufacturer installer. This limited warranty starts when the first user acquires software or lasts 24 from Microsoft or for 90 days if acquired from a device manufacturer installer. If you obtain the updates or supplements directly from Microsoft during the 90-day trial period of the devices manufacturers or installers limited warranty, Microsoft provides limited warranty for those updated supplements. Any supplements, updates, or replacement software that you may receive from Microsoft during that year are also covered, but only for the remainder of that 1-year period if acquired by Microsoft, or for 90 days if acquired from a device manufacturer or installer, or for 30 days, whichever is longer. Transferring the software will not extend limited warranty. B. Disclaimer. Neither Microsoft nor the device hardware installer gives any other express warranties, guarantees, or condition. Microsoft and the device manufacturer and installer exclude all implied warranties and conditions, including those of merchantability, fitness for a particular purpose, and non-infringement. If your local law does not allow the exclusion of implied warranties, then any implied warranties, guarantees, or conditions last only during the term of the limited warranty and are limited to as much as your local law allows. If your local law requires a longer limited warranty term, despite this agreement, then the local longer term will apply, but you can recover only the remedies this agreement allows. C. Limited remedy. If Microsoft or the device manufacturer or installer breaches its limited warranty, it will add selection under 1. Repair or replace the software at no charge, or 2. Accept return of the software or as its selection on which the software was pre-installed for a refund of the amount paid, if any. The device manufacturer, installer, or Microsoft, if required, then directed to Microsoft, may also repair or replace supplements, updates, and replacement of the software, or provide a refund for the amount you gave to them, if any. These are your only remedies for breach of warranty. This limited warranty gives you specific legal rights, and you may also have other rights which vary from state to state or country to country. B. Damages, except for any repair, replacement, or refund from Microsoft or the device manufacturer installer may provide. You may not, under this limited warranty, under any other part of this agreement, or under any theory, recover any damages from or other remedy, including lost profits or direct, consequential, special, indirect, or incidental damages. The damage exclusions and remedy limitations in the agreement apply even if repair, replacement, or refund does not fully compensate you for any losses. If Microsoft or the device manufacturer or installer knew you should have known about the responsibility damages, or if the remedy fails of its essential purpose. Some states and countries do not allow the exclusion or limitation of incidental, consequential, or damages, so those limitations or exclusions may not apply to you. If your local law allows you to recover damages from Microsoft or the device manufacturer installer, even though this agreement does not, you cannot recover more than you paid for the software, or up to $50 USD if you acquire the software for no charge. C. Warranty or refund procedures. For service or refund, you must provide a copy of your proof of purchase and comply with Microsoft's return policies if you acquire the software from Microsoft, or the device manufacturer installer's return policies if you acquire the software from the device manufacturer installer. If you purchase standalone software, those return policies might require you to uninstall the software returned to Microsoft. If you acquired the software pre-installed on the device, those return policies may require return software with the entire device on which software is installed. The certificate of authenticity label includes part B if for every device must remain affixed. Contact the device manufacturer installer at the address of toll-free phone number provided with your device to find out how to obtain warranty service or software. If Microsoft's device manufacturer, if you acquired the software retailer, has that 1, United States, Canada, via telephone 800 Microsoft, via mail at Microsoft Customer Service and Support, 1 Microsoft Way, Redmond, WA 98052 6399, or visit https://ak.ms/NARE terms. 2. Europe, Middle East, and Africa, via mail at Microsoft Ireland Operations Limited, Customer Care Center, 1 Microsoft Place, South Country Business Park, Leopardstown, Dublin 18, Ireland, or visit https://akms.ms support. 3. Australia, via telephone 132058, via mail at Microsoft Pty Limited, 1 Epping Road. So we'll finish up this layer here. North Ride, NSW 2113, Australia, or visit https://ak.ms/ms support. Woohoo, that was a read. Well, anyways, see you next time, and honestly, look how much I got done here. We only have that much left to do, and got that much done, so yeah. Anyways, see you then. See ya probably tomorrow when we finish this up.